Peace, folks. It's Carmen D. Player, cosmic hype woman of the universe. Hype being, have your perspective elevated. So, I don't know about you all, but I've been experiencing a tempest in a tea kettle experience. By that, there's a lot of life that's been happening. It's kind of felt like a storm in a small place. So there's like a lot of pressure, a lot of different things that have been happening. And so with this, I'm appreciative of like my path because, when you go through different things, like you pick up lessons and blessings, if you will, along the way, right? And so like I was an educator and school leader for close to 13 years in Southeast DC and Northeast DC. And I was actually responsible for being a director of culture for a couple of schools. And one of the, I guess you could say, tools or practices that we used was positively narrating. It's positive narration. Now it was an element of like classroom management and classroom culture, which it has its pros and its cons and different things. But what it was really about was that if you gave a direction to the class, you would actually narrate what was going right? You didn't use that time and the space and your voice to talk about all the things that were going wrong. So if you gave a direction like, all right, folks, we're about to go to P.E. So that means we have to have a safe body and we get in line and we move quickly. So when I give the direction and I ask you to get up, I need you to get up safely with your hands to your side and your voice is off so we can move fast down the hall and not disturb anybody. Okay, ready? Let's go. Oh, I see David walking silently. I see LaShawn with a safe body. I see David with these walking feet. And look, I see you. All right. So you narrate all the different things that were going well in that situation. Yes, of course, you had little ones who were, might have needed a little bit more encouragement or might need some help or might need some modeling or might just need your proximity to change a behavior or something along those lines. But you didn't use your voice to use the space to narrate what wasn't going right. You focused on what was working. What is the good that's happening in front of you, right? Because by doing this, it gives young people like the cue of like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Oh, okay, cool. So you're literally saying the direction over and over again. And I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, what if I positively narrate what's going on in my life that's working for me and add gratitude with it? All right, so cool. My body is strong and I'm grateful, right? I have my job that feeds my soul and I'm grateful. I have a healthy marriage and relationship and I'm grateful. I have food that I can eat and I enjoy and I'm grateful. I have peace within and I'm grateful, right? So why is this important? Why is this a practice that can actually help us in our everyday life? Because going back to what I've said before in other videos, we're psychophysical beings, right? So whatever we're thinking, whatever we're believing, we're manifesting into reality. So if we're choosing to only focus on the negative things, the things that are terrible, the things that are hurting, the things that are jarring our spirit, the things that we're going through, the struggle, and I'm not talking about like a political struggle, but I'm talking about like our internal struggle. If we only focus on the things that are negative, that are hurting us, and we never give time and the space to realize and acknowledge and celebrate the things that are going well, what are we going to then put the energy into to manifest? So if we're also balancing, still being mindful and seeing the things that we need to actually address and take care of within our own selves and in society and the sort, still name those. Like there's no spiritual bypass by that saying, I'm just going to bless and release it and not address it. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that we need to also make it a practice to talk about the things that are going well in our lives and being grateful for it, right? Because when we're focusing on the things that are going well, we start to piece those moments together. Those moments become minutes, those minutes become hours, those hours become days, those days become weeks, so on and so forth. And what we do is that not only do we build up a reservoir of positive energy, of things that are going well, we start to think about those things. We start to believe that things are going to go well, and we start to manifest those things, right? Because we're actually narrating, we're using the vibration of our being, of ourselves as creative beings, as spark of divinity, to speak about and narrate the things that are going well so they continue to multiply, right? Because with our gratitude, there's magnitude, right? It multiplies, and we manifest something different, right? If you continue to say, these kids are getting on my doggone nerves, they are so bad, da da da. Not only are children going to believe that that's who they are, they're going to show you that too. Because why would they think of anything else, right? If you're only saying your child's name with a redirection or a consequence, they're going to believe that's who they are, and they're just going to actually manifest that same behavior, right? But what if you're saying, balancing and saying, you know what? I appreciate that you're creative, even though I didn't necessarily give you that direction. I see how you interpreted that, and that was very creative. Now let's figure out how we can do this in a way that's going to help both of us, right? If we're also focusing on like how much of a struggle our life is, and how we constantly have to fight for things in our life, or how everything is going poorly in our lives, and that's what we're narrating, that's what we're believing, Spirit is going to continually show us what we believe and what we're seeing and what we're speaking, right? Because we literally speak it into existence. We go from the psycho to the physical. We go from a mental state into a physical reality. So when we decide to disrupt the narrative with positive narration, with things that are going well in our lives, then we actually are putting out also into the universe to manifest the things that are actually going well and that we want to see multiply further. And the reason also why gratitude is so important as a daily practice. I know that you've probably heard Oprah's gratitude journal or The Secret and all this other stuff. Here's the magic in between. It's not really magic. It's not really a secret. Here's the thing. The reason why it helps to shake things up when you use gratitude, because gratitude is evidence of things going well in your life, and it helps us be reminded about how Spirit has shown up for you, or whatever you like to call Spirit, God, love, Sean, David, whoever. Gratitude reminds us of all the times that we've been taken care of. Gratitude reminds us of all the different times when things have gone well. So if we're constantly thinking about what we're grateful for, and we're believing that that's when things have shown up for us in our favor, if you will, if we're focusing on that, if we're narrating the positive, then we have to disrupt the energy, the frequency, the vibration that is not of that same frequency or alignment, right? So if there's narration in your mind or in your spirit that tells you that you are less than the divine being that you are, but you decide to say, you know what? I got a great sense of humor. And I'm grateful for that. I'm pretty funny. Yeah, I'm pretty funny. I'm grateful for that, because I could not have a sense of humor. Or like, but I'm a cool musician. I like the music that I make, and I'm grateful that I have this, that I can express myself through this, or through poetry, or through dance, or through cooking, or whatever it is that give you the effervescent excitement that you have tapped into, that you have. Be grateful for that, right? Because if you're focusing on this, then it also gives you an escape from the narration and the things that are bouncing around in your head. It gives you tools and actually things to actually speak to when those lies and those shadows are bouncing and ricocheting within your being, because you decided to disrupt it with positive narration and gratitude. And when you're doing this constantly, when this becomes a practice, then you start to see things in your life that are going really well, because it has to turn for you, right? Even if it's small things, big things, they're all the same, right? Because like it doesn't matter if it's a drop of water for it, or if it's a bucket, or if it's an ocean, it's still made of the same molecules, right? And it's the same H2O. It's the same H2O, whether it's in the tear or it's in a tidal wave of an ocean. So when we decide to be grateful and to positively narrate what's going well, then we're constantly calling forth for this to come into manifestation and multiply magnitude, right? Get that magnitude to actually come into our lives further, right? So just try it out. Just try it out. It's funny because like my mom, back when we were little, we could be complaining about something and everything was like super relative, right? And I'm like, oh, Mom, Like my head hurts. Well, at least you can feel your head. Mom, like, I don't want to go to school. Like, I don't like going to school. At least you can go to school because your ancestors couldn't even read because it was against the law. You know, on one hand, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's right, that's true. I wanted to feel my feelings, you know, when I was that age. But really what my mom was trying to get us to understand is that there's always something to be grateful for. And I don't believe that we should make things relative or compared to anything else. Like, well, at least I'm not that person having that experience, but really focusing on what is going well in your life, right? There's something really cool and super dope that you can be grateful for and you can narrate. Even if it seems like it's the same thing every day, right on. It'll give you the opportunity to look at something else, you know what I mean? And like start with, man, I got up this morning and I'm feeling my body and I'm grateful, right? Even if it's like, I feel some aches and pains in my body. I can recognize that these are aches and pains, but you know what? I'm grateful I'm moving, right? So this is my invitation because I don't do challenges. Challenges feel like competition to me. I don't do the language of challenges. But what I would say is that I offer to you this invitation to calibrate your lens to gratitude and to narrate the positive. Just take this week. Just write it down on a Post-it if you want to, or you might decide that you just want to just wake up and it's like, you know what? I got 5 things I can positively narrate that I'm just going to be looking for today. I'm looking for my big 5 and couple that with gratitude. And I'd love to hear it. Like, what changed? Because I'm trusting and affirming that something's going to change and shake up for you. Definitely. And it's going to be super dope. And you know, if it's something that feels a little bit challenging or hard or like, I'm just saying, to somebody it might sound cheesy. That's okay. How about this? How's your current experience been? Do you like it? No? So maybe try something different. Just an invitation. Just an invitation. You can accept it or deny it or whatever it is. But I offer this to you because I really believe that it's going to help shake up things in your life, because it's definitely done so for me in the middle of a storm where the peace is, right? I've decided that I'm going to focus on what is going well and to positively narrate that with my gratitude. So this is my offering to you, and I hope and I trust that it will serve you. You are worthy. You are whole. You are holy. You are love. You are loved. Right on to the right on. Peace.